Hello, and welcome back for another week of Fit Foundations. As you recall, my name is Jen Lundman, and I'm here as your certified wellness coach. This past week, your family spent time creating wellness wheels to help identify areas of focus that align with your needs and hopes for wellness. And you built a family wellness vision based on that information. These are such important tools for your wellness road trip. As we walk through various topics through the weeks, you will hear us continually return to the wellness wheel. We will share examples related to various components of the wheel so that you can begin to envision how a particular wellness topic could come to life in your own family. Our examples can serve as guides to follow or maybe provide support with understanding how a tool can be applied to a topic of importance in your family's life. Revisiting the wellness wheel each week is designed to help you both envision and move along your own personal path. Our next step forward looks at actions and behaviors and how these relate to family wellness. It's through examining our actions and behaviors that we'll be ready to start setting wellness goals. Helping us this week with our exploration of actions and behaviors, as well as goal setting, our certified personal trainer is joining us to talk with us about building family wellness through movement. We'll also share with you our action brainstorming tool as a way to start examining your family's movement and as a tool that could be used to set goals in many areas of wellness. What I love about the Action Brainstorm tool is that it's a great way to get started on building new behaviors for family wellness. Through action brainstorming, we examine current behaviors, what is working and isn't working well, and investigate where new behaviors could take shape that align with your unique wellness vision. Let's welcome Christine to talk with us about movement as a family and as individuals. Movement as a wellness topic is a perfect place to start action brainstorming with our families.
Hello families, I'm excited to share some general information centered around movement, your exercise and fitness activities. As Jen shared, we're looking at setting wellness goals for your family this week, and this might include establishing a more consistent weekly plan that's age appropriate, as well as setting time together to be active as a family.
Great to have you join us, Christine. To help gather ideas and understand what's appropriate for each family member, are there some main topics we should cover?
Great question. There are 4 main topics to help guide families with the basics around movement: recommended time in movement, types of movement, age-appropriate activities, and fitness scheduling ideas. When considering time and movement each week for optimal health, the CDC and the American Heart Association offer great guidance. Of course, this varies based on age, so let's review these guidelines and how to incorporate into wellness goals and planning. For adults, the recommendation is 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity, or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity, plus muscle strengthening activity twice a week, targeting all major muscle groups. That's 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Ages 6 through 17, the recommendation is at least 60 minutes daily of moderate to vigorous activity. This should include at least 3 days with vigorous activity, aerobic intensity like running or soccer, muscle strengthening like push-ups or weight training, and bone strengthening activities like jump rope or yoga. For kids ages 3 to 5, they should simply have opportunities to move throughout the day.
Such a great breakdown by age. This visual will help families create their weekly fitness schedule and help identify some wellness goals around moving regularly.
Absolutely, Jen. It's easy for adults to get lost in the busy schedules of the children. By writing the activity plans on a schedule each week, families easily see where the threshold isn't reached throughout those avenues and can supplement with family activities to reach these recommended totals. It's also ideal to spread your activity throughout the week with some type of aerobic movement most days. We do recommend 48 hours between strength sessions so muscles can recover.
That's a great point with writing down the weekly activity commitments for each family member. Would PE at school and other activities like that count toward the total time?
They do count. There's quite a bit of activity people engage in regularly that can count towards the recommended time and movement. When thinking through the activity levels for those ages 6 through 17, be sure to consider athletics through school, recreation centers as part of the daily and weekly counts. PE at schools do vary in levels of activity. That said, for most kids, there is enough movement from PE and even recess to count towards the weekly minutes. As they get older, like high school ages, it's more focused on intentional exercise outside of those school hours.
We also need to remember that even if younger kids reach their recommended time during the school hours, it's important to find ways to be active at home. Activity routines at home create sustainable rhythms beyond the school year and help us maintain a balance with sitting too much or screen time.
That's a great point. There are generally minimum recommendations to follow for optimal health. The emphasis being on achieving the aerobic activity that gets your heart pumping. There are many types of activity that count and vary between structured activity and physical activity. For example, moving your body with yard work and parking farther away keep your body moving, but these may not qualify for the moderate to vigorous intensity the CDC recommends. Let's look, though, at some ideas to consider that can fully fulfill the intensity level for your wellness goals and weekly scheduling. We want to make sure that we are considering activities that will fulfill the intensity levels for your wellness goals and weekly scheduling. Aerobic activity can be moderate to brisk-paced, walking, jogging, hiking, biking, or even dancing. You can break it up into smaller segments like 10-minute walks. Resistance training, also known as strength training, can start with your body weight, using your own body as the resistance, not requiring any additional equipment. Building from there, you can add in equipment such as bands or hand weights, ideally progressing into heavier weights as you gain strength. Yoga is another idea for bone and muscle strengthening. For the kids aged 5 and under, this doesn't need to be a structured workout. Activities like running, jumping, and playing meet the needs. Make the activity engaging with games like scavenger hunts, Simon Says, or an obstacle course. To make this work for you, just keep it simple.
Great ideas for movement-focused activities. You can check out the Fit Family portal for exercise videos for all ages. You can also visit Basecamp's website to access a variety of classes offered online, in person, and on demand. Christine, how might a family be successful in creating a family fitness schedule?
To make this successful, be realistic with all your family time commitments, from work, school, and extracurricular activities. Be sure to include all family members in this plan. Writing down the family schedule might show that you're all set to meet the minimum recommendations. In the event you're short, find some creative ways to include movement into the weekly time commitments. A great example is walking laps at the track during your kids' soccer practice. Also make sure to include scheduling time to move together as a family. Create a list of activities you like doing together, like a family bike ride.
Wonderful ideas, Christine. Let's take this information and apply action brainstorming so you, as a family, can begin to move along on your own wellness road trip. In thinking about movement this week, perhaps you can already visualize how your family would fill in this chart. Perhaps you can see movement behaviors or patterns you would like to do less or ones that you hope to start or do more. Here, a family was brainstorming movement and came up with behaviors such as sitting less and taking an evening walk together as a family a couple of days each week. They charted some actions and behaviors they know their family would enjoy together and would help in reaching their identified wellness goals around fitness.
This is a great example of being realistic with the behaviors. Most families have full schedules, and to say they will take a family walk every evening is probably not possible. Taking a small step towards a larger goal helps establish the habit. Families can begin to add more days each week as they find the right rhythm.
Exactly. The great thing about action brainstorming and our approach to this program is you can start small, yet dream big. When you know what's realistic and are flexible to find what works best for you and your family, you'll be able to work toward those larger goals over time. No one should feel defeated from the get-go. Let's take a closer look at how we start creating goals once we've completed an action brainstorm. This goal statement template is a wonderful resource to help map out the details regarding a goal. Here, you can see the family's brainstorm turned into a goal to take 2 20-minute walks together after dinner next week on Wednesday and Friday. And because movement plans can be individual in addition to family-oriented, it also helped these parents set up a movement routine for themselves for the next 2 weeks. This week, I invite you to take some time together to work through an action brainstorm with your family. Explore the actions and behaviors you believe will help you build the wellness you envision. And once you've brainstormed, try setting some goals to make these behaviors a part of your family's life. Action brainstorming is an amazing tool, one that translates into all areas of building wellness. We can explore actions and behaviors in everything from our family's fitness and movement to building overall health, creativity and fun, and even growing relationships. The action brainstorm helps examine our actions and behaviors, those that we're currently doing and those that we want to start, and helps us set those goals that move us towards our overall vision of wellness. Learning how to determine, set, and track goals, especially as a family, is such a huge part of a health and wellness road trip. I hope you'll find the Action Brainstorm a useful tool for shaping how your family wellness will look in your everyday. Always remember, we are here to support you. If there are questions, please don't hesitate to reach out by clicking the Check In with Jen button on your family portal or within your weekly email.